What's going on, everyone? How's it going? Welcome back to the video series, My Tattoo Journey, where I discuss what I went through to take on my Filipino tattoos that you see here, that I get the most questions about, what that process was like from way back in 2005 all the way through present day. So if you haven't caught or watched episode 1 and 2, I suggest you go ahead and do that so you can hear about what it was like to answer the questionnaire for me, what happens after you submit or finish your questionnaire, and then what it was for me to find a tribal tattoo artist back in Europe to complete my half sleeves. Yeah, without having any connections out in Europe to take on that work. And now for this week's video, we are going to talk about what I now am going through as far as my tattoo journey, from commemorating my family history, lineage, background on my half sleeves to now marking significant events, stressful or impactful parts and moments of my life that I just need some extra help, strength, guidance, protection from the markings of our ancestors. So, with that said, what I did after my half sleeves, what I wanted to do was work with Zelfesten of Spiritual Journey Tattoo and continue marking or putting on Filipino traditional tattoos, designs, and motifs. But the first tattoo that I wanted to do was my upper back. And I wanted to do my upper back because I wanted to connect my back piece to my color work. And the process that I'm going to talk about now, if you are not from the islands, if you are very interested or drawn to the patterns, how significant it can really be, this is a way, what I'm about to talk about now, this is a way that you can take on these markings in a respectable manner, in a way where you're not stealing somebody else's story, where you are creating something that's unique to you. All right. So my upper back piece, I wanted that part of my back to be dedicated to my mom. I got tattooed during the week we spent in the hospital when she was passing. I can't remember the exact day that I got the tattoo, but I do, I think it was before she passed, and she passed on March 7th, 2017. My dad passed March 1st, 2010, 3210, kind of crazy. And we thought my mom was going to pass away on the same day, but she held on for a little bit longer. And if you saw the previous week's video, I think it was last week, or the first week, my parents and family in general, we're not very expressive when it comes to love or affection. We show our love in different ways. And even though she didn't do it verbally, I knew that she loved me. For someone to take me in as an infant in a foreign country and love me as if I were her own, and for my parents to adopt me and in 1984 back in Bahrain, I know that they both love me very much. But my mom, and if anyone is hearing this that knew her, they knew, or I knew, that she was fearless. She was the one that showed me how to be fearless. She was the one that showed me how to embrace my femininity, my womanhood, to, as simple as this may sound, but taking pride in your appearance and embracing getting dressed up and going to the salon. I remember going to the salon with her every week when we were in Bahrain, or it felt like every week. And if it wasn't for her, my skin wouldn't look this good because she was the one that showed me how to do it. Even more than that, I think what I took away from her is that she just did not give a fuck about what people thought. And she owned it. And now I understand the power of that. And so my upper back piece ties all that in. But after that, the piece was done, Gazelle is super fast, lightning fast hands. I started my chest piece, the center piece here. This is the Shaman of Transformation. And for me, I needed that extra strength. I needed something to help me process what I was going through, because in 2017, that was a rough year for me. 2017 was when I started a new job in Texas, away from many friends. I accepted that I was officially going through my second divorce, and I was away from my son. And then my mom dies in March. 3 months later, my uncle dies, who was also my godfather. I didn't really know how to process it, except for getting tattooed. It's now a form of therapy for me. The physical things steps that your body goes through during getting tattooed has much more of a mind-body connection than, at least it can have a mind-body connection, more so as long as you put your mind in that right mindset. And so that's why I get tattooed. That's the personal healing for me. I am embracing what's happening, I'm acknowledging what's happening, and I am letting it go onto my skin. And hopefully that, I don't say offering or sacrifice, but like that part of me that I give to our ancestors, I hope in return I can get that strength that I seek, that protection I seek. So yeah, like for me, some may think like, why would you want to remember all those negative things? Why would you want to take on a whole chest piece to remember you going through a divorce? It's not just about that. It's about accepting the new chapter of my life, accepting the transformation of going from one phase or chapter into the next. So that's where I get that spiritual healing. And that's why it's a spiritual journey. Because these tattoos mark, at least for me, going through that process. So for next week's video, we're going to talk about completing my tattoo, my chest tattoo, because that was actually done in 3 phases. The center, and then this upper part here, and then finally getting my first tap tattoo below. That I'm excited to talk about that because that's very significant to me. So I hope this video about Filipino traditional tattoos and my journey was helpful. And I hope that for those thinking about getting a tattoo, a Filipino tribal tattoo, that you may be inspired to take on this journey. You may have been thinking about a certain idea, and this may have sparked what that may actually become. And if you're from the islands or not, I hope understanding the process of working with your artist. That is the very, very first step. Working with your artist, getting to know one another, getting to know why you want to get this tattoo, what does it signify for you, what draws you to the patterns if you don't have, family lineage in this culture, and then finally, taking on the markings. To understand the process of what it is for us to go through, I hope you can appreciate the depth of what this can mean and what it means if you were to take someone's tattoo off the internet and copy it. You are literally stealing a piece of someone's soul. If you liked this video, if you thought it was informative, please like, comment, share. I really would appreciate it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Takna Patna Alon, Mark of the Four Waves Tribe, and the help and guidance of El and Zell Festin of Spiritual Journey Tattoo. Thanks all.